All right.
According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way
Nope. That's the B movie script. That movie's like an hour and a half or 2 hours long.
Question?
What?
There's no way
No, stop. Zach just hit the intro before he gets started.
Okay.
I don't want to sit here for an hour and a half while he reads the script.
Its wings are too
Zach,
small.
hit the intro.
I'm sorry, everyone. And we stop here? I'm not making a major life decision during a production number. All right, take 10, everybody. Wrap it up, guys. I had virtually no rehearsal for that. Time for breakfast.
What?
I think my mic peaked when I did that, but that's okay. What?
What?
What time is it?
What do you mean, what time is it?
That was the whole B movie script.
Yeah, dude. You said you wanted to hear the B movie script.
I specifically said for Zach to hit the intro so we wouldn't have to listen.
Did I hit the intro? Do I
You need to make that
again?
more clear. How about that? How about you just make it more clear?
I don't know, dude.
Do I need to hit it again?
Hit the intro again.
Okay.
We're back. Welcome to the Two Heavy Wrestling Podcast. Thanks for putting up with our BS shenanigans. Randy, Zach, Eddie, we're going to be talking to you about some wrestling today. But first, shout out to the B movie.
And?
Jerry and LA Knight.
Yeah.
All right. What are we going to be talking about today?
The absolute banana fest that was going on SmackDown and Raw this past week, specifically Raw. But Jay came back, of course, probably the talk of the town.
Jay came back, partnered with Jimmy, did some shenanigans with Sam Uso.
That great promo from John Cena against Austin Theory.
He's kind of a nobody. I agree with that right now. Wait till Austin Theory beats him, though.
That's so tough. That's such a tough situation.
We have to dive into that.
That's such a tough situation to find yourself in because, like, you are getting pushed.
He's going to win.
But no
Austin Theory's going to win, though.
Well, yeah, of course he's going to win. But John Cena kind of was right. Even if he wins, he loses.
Can I do it? Can I do that thing you like?
Sure.
John Cena.
John Cena.
Yes.
And then we still have to talk about the Sheamus and Drew McIntyre and Gunther, that whole saga that continues to evolve. So, what do we want to talk about first?
I think we could hit Drew McIntyre and Sheamus real quick, just because I think Jay, there's a lot more to unpack.
I think so too.
So, kind of my theory with it and kind of how everything went down. Sheamus and Drew pinned someone at the same time, therefore they're having a match next week on SmackDown to figure out who faces Gunther. Theory that I have, of course, Imperium's probably going to come out, beat the hell out of the both of them, because Gunther can beat anybody, so on and so forth.
Right.
Therefore making a triple threat match at WrestleMania.
You think that's how they do it, through outside interference?
I think so.
I thought it was going to be like a double fall where, like, they both, like, it's a bro kick and a Claymore kick at the same time, and they kick each other and their arms kind of fall on each other, and it's a double 3 count.
Double pin.
I could still see that.
Something like that.
It's going to be something that gets it to a triple threat. I don't think it's going to... if it was going to be either one of them, it would be Drew, but if it's going to play out how we thought, it's going to be a triple threat.
Yeah. Well, and I thought that was going to be it. I thought they were just going to take that result and make it a triple threat, but then they did the backstage segment with Gunther and Adam Pearce, and Gunther was like kind of being a Karen about it.
Yeah.
The Chelsea Green about it.
One simple instruction or whatever he said. So,
can I tell you something I don't like about a loaded roster, which that kind of sounds like a pretty bad statement, but
yeah.
I don't like that we're putting Kofi, LA Knight, Karrion Kross, Xavier Woods in the match to lose when they all should, like, respectively be wrestling somehow at WrestleMania, in my opinion. I mean, they're all great athletes. They all do so well with their characters. It kind of stinks that we may not be able to see all of them at Mania, which is the kind of bad thing about a loaded roster.
That's the conversation we had last week, because Triple H wants to shorten WrestleMania, or at least not put matches that don't mean anything / matches just to put people in.
Yeah, he doesn't want the battle royal filler matches and everything else.
Yeah, which I mean, if you go back to the 20s, like the 20s, 20 through 30 of WrestleMania, that's what it was kind of like that sweet spot of there wasn't these, extra thrown in matches. Everything meant something,
right?
And they only had it in one night. You know how many people weren't on the show then?
Loads of people, right?
And now we have 2 nights, which they can do double the matches, but make each match mean more.
Yeah.
And correct, and I do understand that, but there are like certain people on the cards, like I don't know anyone who's going to go crazy. Hold on. He's doing that thing we like. He's doing that thing we like.
Not this episode, Randy.
All I was going to say was...
Let's see what he has.
All I was going to say was there was something else that was pretty special about WrestleMania's 20 through 30, and that they were missing.
Missing who?
If you go back and look at WrestleMania's 20 through 30...
Who were they missing?
Nia Jax wasn't on any of those cards, which is probably why they had to split off WrestleManias into 2 nights, so that they can make sure there was enough time to feature Nia Jax.
And go to our YouTube where Randy's docuseries actually highlights WrestleMania 20 through 30 and why it would have been better with Nia Jax. That'll be coming out shortly. But that's a lie. It probably won't. But
it definitely won't.
What I was going to say, that'd actually be a good project for you, though.
I'm not going to sit here and fantasy book 30-something years of wrestling on what would happen if Nia Jax... Because I would do it anatomically correct, where I'm like, yeah, WrestleMania 20, 13-year-old Nia Jax comes out, just tries to win the title, or however old she would be during that time.
Nia Jax doesn't age. That's the point here.
She's forever. That's how she's not like most girls. She doesn't age.
Exactly. But what I was going to say is probably not very many people are going to be like, why the hell isn't Riddick Moss on this card? Or
yeah, no one's
like
gonna. I'm not gonna ask that.
Yeah, or
Rick
Boogs.
Yeah, no offense to you guys, Boogs, but man, no one's probably gonna ask why Rick Boogs isn't on the card. But like someone like LA Knight, if he's not on the card, they're gonna be like, okay, why did they push him at Mania, or like try to give him this like little, just like some kind of publicity,
spotlighted,
right? And Karrion Kross, the same thing. They pushed him like he was going to be in the world title picture eventually, but of course that all apparently got scrapped.
Yeah, I mean, he literally just pinned 2023 Hall of Fame inductee Rey Mysterio.
Where did that
that feud went nowhere.
Well, and I think a lot of these feuds were a part of bad timing because they were already mixed in with other existing feuds. Like we already knew Dominic and Rey was going to be a thing. So like Karrion versus Rey was really not going to lead to anything.
Yeah.
LA Knight just came off the Bray Wyatt thing, which I don't think he's been doing anything bad since he's came back, but to throw him into something marquee right away, right after that, it would seem kind of out of character. And then, just with everything else, like it just feels like everybody who's not in a WrestleMania match right now, it seems like they're going to be jump started into the next quote unquote year, which is the restart after WrestleMania.
Right.
But I think that's kind of where we're at. It's just there was too many pre-existing storylines going on for these people to just be thrown in, and we were already building up towards something.
But kind of what I looked at it, and I know I've gone over this booking before, on how Karrion Kross should have feuded with Finn Balor, because it's kind of at its end with Finn Balor and Edge, and they keep fighting unless the Demon comes back, which if the Demon comes back, that's a different story in my opinion. But you could have had the Demon against Karrion Kross, who could have just been beating the hell out of Finn Balor because Dominic got involved in like Rey Mysterio and Karrion Kross's matches, or even put Damian Priest in that like spotlight because he doesn't have a match right now either, and he's a fantastic wrestler.
He had a really good showing during the Elimination Chamber.
Right, there are just so many people who, and I know it's more, hey, there are certain people we want to highlight. We want to make it as stacked of a card as possible. When 2 nights helps with that, but it doesn't help that the roster is so jam-packed with like all the guys you wanted to see from the Indies and WWE. And
I think that's why I think this year was a thing to watch, because Triple H has taken over middle of the year. We're finally going to be into post WrestleMania Triple H.
Right.
And this is going to be the start of what I think will change those things for what you're thinking of.
Okay.
Because, like I said, it was not enough time, and there was already too many pre-existing storylines that were taking up so much time anyway. So to get those things started, you would have thought that there was too much going on with too many people rather than what you're thinking of, which is not enough going on for the people that are supposed to be highlighted. So
I'm excited for it. I definitely am. And there are a lot of people, I think top 3 in my opinion right now. Karrion Kross, LA Knight, Bronson Reed. Those are 3 guys. And I'll throw Damian Priest in there too as like number 4. But those guys all could be on a WrestleMania card and make it that much better.
Well,
so,
perfect example, by the way. So, like, let's say we didn't get Ray versus Dominic.
Right.
But now we know that that's a marquee match because Ray's going in the Hall of Fame, and that should happen.
Yeah.
But there were thoughts that since Damian wasn't going to be in a match, that it was going to be Ray and Edge versus Dominic and Damian at WrestleMania at one point. But that would have been just to throw Damian into a match.
And I wouldn't have liked that. That would not have been as good.
Yeah, Damian just doesn't feel like I mean, obviously, through the Judgment Day with Finn Balor, it feels like he fits, but it feels like that's a stretch.
Right.
Like he doesn't fit into the emotional part of why that match would be important.
Which then throws the argument of like, would you rather see those matches thrown together to get people into a match that deserve to be in a match, or would you rather have it make sense for now, and then we'll get into those people later?
Well, and the other thing is, keep in mind, like some of these people that aren't getting highlighted right now for WrestleMania will probably end up on the SummerSlam card.
Right.
Like they'll probably end up getting highlighted and spotted over the summer.
I feel like WrestleMania is just a stopping point for them, and then as soon as we get to Raw after WrestleMania, it's gonna be greenlit, like ready to go. Like,
yeah, because that's kind of going to be the soft reset on like everything.
Yeah, and we're gonna see what the true vision is.
Well, there's going to be some fallout, right? Not everything is going to completely fall out, but there's going to be a lot of stuff that does carry over, and a lot of stuff that you're going to kind of think just dropped. And the thing is, when you're rearranging your creative like that in order to try to like make more sense of what's going on and book more correctly the way you want it to, there does eventually just have to be a Band-Aid moment where you just rip it off. You just, all right, that story's done. It's not going to go any further. And we're just going to, this is our starting point moving forward. And if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. But that's because what is going to happen will be better and will make sense.
Right.
So
I just thought of an idea too for these guys who may not be getting the same amount of love going into WrestleMania. Hold on, actually. I can tell he's got a really good idea. I can't. No,
I want to hear your idea, but I wanted to make sure that
you want to make sure Nia Jax is.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that Nia Jax was involved in it.
Technically, Nia Jax could be involved in my
idea. So go ahead. I just wanted to make sure.
I'm completely ripping off an idea, but like wrestling, you can rip off something and then like kind of put your own spin on it. That's what happened with like Blood and Guts. Or like the Blood and Guts match in AEW.
That was more of a middle finger to WWE.
Yeah, that was more. But honestly, WWE took it from a WCW concept. So it's like kind of the same. It like loops around. So, but honestly, one of the G1 tournaments that New Japan has, like it's a bunch of wrestling matches and they like kind of seed everybody and like you get certain points. And then like it's kind of a little bit of a tournament style situation. The winner of that, it's a world title match, and of course we could throw Nia Jax in the pool. Don't worry.
Perfect. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure.
Specifically for the tag teams, like we were kind of talking about last week, and like with your Money in the Bank matchup, which is a really good idea. But I feel like you could do so much with the tag teams that are involved, and it's like honestly,
they just did that tournament, but it led to Ricochet and Braun being the winner.
Right, but I think it shows off more if you do like seeding like that, or like you make not a mixed match challenge on good concept, but like.
I like the mixed match challenge. If
good concept, good matches, but I think kind of a poor outcome for everybody who came out of it, except like Asuka and The Miz, I guess, were the only two people.
I mean, Braun and Alexa had their whole program.
They did, but it didn't go anywhere afterward. You could have put something on, like you could have made that, but make a separate like show for like so many months that has this tag league or has this like singles league where you like rack up points. Winner of it gets a world title match, tag title match, whatever it may be.
Well, and the same thing concept goes is what I was thinking of is we're getting King of the Ring back, and we're gonna have the first Queen of the Ring too.
Second,
So
In
second
which,
Queen of the Ring.
Zelina.
well, no,
yeah.
no, she was.
Queen
This is the
Zelina.
no, but that was called something else. This is the first
This
time
is
they're
the
calling.
first actual tournament.
This is the first time they're calling it Queen of the Ring. It was called something else when she won it.
She was Queen Zelina.
Right, but she didn't win a Queen of the Ring.
She
tournament.
lied to us.
Yes.
She won something else. I don't remember what it was called.
Was it a Crown Jewel tournament or whatever?
Well, no, this one is going to be too. It's
Yeah.
not at Crown Jewel, but it's in. I'm genuinely surprised that they're gonna have a tournament called Queen of the Ring in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Like I didn't.
I'm
think
not
they were
going
gonna
into
pull
that.
You what?
I'm not going into that.
No. We don't have to go into that. I just like that thought was there. I'm just like I didn't know that they were gonna try to pull something
Queen's
off.
Crown tournament.
Yeah,
what it was
Queen's
called.
Crown.
Okay.
They didn't call it Queen of
But-
the Ring.
In terms of that in general, I want the King of the Ring / Queen of the Ring to mean something. And the last 2 or 3 of them,
The
they-
last 8 or 9 of them.
yeah, they haven't meant crap. And I want that person to get a title shot, and I want it to actually mean something. And we've seen a prediction video on TikTok talking about, like, what if Jay won after, Roman takes his break after Mania if Cody wins. Like, it can lead to so many more avenues for those people that you're talking about.
Right.
When are those tournaments? Are they before or after SummerSlam?
Let's say, I mean, the summer, like June, July, you don't have like
If it's already
a
announced,
crazy
I think
amount.
it's before.
Okay.
And I think June and July are like the perfect times to do because that's when the Cruiserweight Classic was. I'm pretty sure that's when the Challenge was. It's like a good time, like summertime. People want more to do, and
Yeah.
like people have more free time.
It's post Mania, like downtime stuff. But it needs to mean something in the meantime. It doesn't need to be, oh, we don't have much going on. We just had Mania. We need to cool down a little bit. No, just keep the fire going and keep the TV
Right.
weekly television hot.
And the thing I like about, or like something like that, you don't need authentic tag. And I'm very big on authentic tag teams, like teams who have been together and stablemates for a while. But like, I like to talk crap on people who are just thrown into a tag team. But like, it worked for the Bar.
Yeah.
Who were some more people it worked for? But just like kind of looking at it like that, there are a bunch of teams that were like homegrown on TV. And it worked really well for them. And maybe we could see something like that. Like, I think the Bar was the best version of that in recent history, where they
You
just
talking about
threw
like tag teams that were just 2 singles guys put together.
Yeah.
They were definitely. I would argue that the Bar had such a good run that could be a Hall of Fame tag team.
There's a top 50 list on WWE.
Yeah.
I think it's like a episodic like series that they have where
Yeah.
they announced all top 50 teams of all time, and they were in it. So
I don't know that I would consider these guys top 50 of all time, but I was very.
in WWE,
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I was very satisfied with Matt Riddle and Randy Orton.
very
Those
satisfied.
2 singles guys that got put together.
Absolutely.
I mean, WWE used to do that all the time, just hoping something would stick.
And they became champion.
I mean, you got
Dude.
like Chris Jericho and the Big Show.
that worked well.
Jericho.
That was that was a really because they've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
Miz and Morrison actually, I
Mhm.
think was that.
That worked well.
You know,
They were the tough enough guys.
yeah,
you know.
like they have the thing that like shadows that is for every one of those teams, there's probably like 8 or 9 that sucked. You
There
know what I
are.
mean?
Like, definitely. But
Honestly, though, if we're talking about that, I just really want the actual meant to be together tag teams to start flourishing more.
I think so too. Like you really have to reward like Street Profits and who
Top
else?
dollar.
Top, yeah, like top. Well,
yeah.
Hit Row.
Hit
So-
row,
You know,
yeah.
you have to really start rewarding these guys for wanting to be tag teams
But there-
versus getting forced into it.
there's so many tag teams that we were introduced to as tag teams, but in NXT and NXT UK, they weren't tag teams. They were singles, right? So like Brawling Brutes
Yeah,
were singles guys, and they
for
excelled
sure.
well as singles guys. Trying to think more. Honestly, Legado del Fantasma,
Yeah.
at the time, Raul Mendez, I really don't know his name now. I'm not going to lie. And Joaquin Wilde, they were both singles guys. Joaquin Wilde was an X Division champion in TNA. Like, they were all singles guys. Like,
Yeah.
I just think we're introduced to people as tag teams, and it works really well. But obviously there's a market right now for, we want to see the Usos, we want to see Roman, we want to see Sammy, we want to see Cody. We're not getting that, and I feel like making something separate out of it will better utilize those tag teams.
And I think if we get past Mania and we get the idea of like Cody bringing back an actual championship, like the Winged Eagle, and potentially getting a reboot of the actual tag titles, you know,
splitting up the belts,
but them being changed back into World and whatever.
WWE, yeah.
Just
I think
that
cool.
Reestablishing everything. I think if you're gonna do one, you have to do the other. So
yeah, you can't just have like. You can't have undisputed tag belts, but then have 2 world titles. I mean, I guess you could, but like at that point, especially to Eddie's point, with how packed the roster is, like there are finally one of WWE's biggest criticisms that they always used to get was they didn't know what the hell they were doing with their tag team division. Now they have so many different legitimate tag teams that now would be the time to have the 2 sets of belts, and of course they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like, if you can make an 8-team tournament on one brand alone,
right?
That's like,
and it makes sense. It's not like they just took 2 singles guys and threw them together. It was 8 teams.
Yeah.
Honestly, oh my gosh, I don't know their names either, but it has Angel Garza and
Los Lotharios.
Yeah, Los Lotharios.
Yeah.
That team could be so freaking good.
Oh yeah,
just based off their athleticism alone. But like,
they are everything that Los Matadores wished they were.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I'm just saying, like Los Conquistadors. Los Conquistadors wished that they had what Los Lotharios have. You know what I mean?
Dude, I need other teams pushed that aren't the Usos. And I'm not saying that I don't want the Usos pushed. It's like, but they have 2 belts where you
and
excited about.
And I think the most ironic part about everything that you're talking about and then everything I'm agreeing with is that the tag team that's going to dethrone them is probably going to be Sammy and Kevin, someone who currently isn't even a tag team.
Which is another thing, though.
But the 2 have been tag team champions in other promotions together.
Right.
Yes, but that really has nothing to do with WWE.
No, it doesn't. But like, at least they have a track record together.
Yeah.
They have a huge track record of them being enemies, but they also have a big track record of them being partners. So like, at least I can understand it from that aspect.
Well, and it makes sense from a storyline perspective for them to dethrone the Usos at this point. I just wanted to point out the irony of the fact that there probably won't be a currently established tag team that will take the tag titles off the Usos.
Right.
So
I could talk about that all day, honestly. How
underutilized. Question for you guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it has nothing to do with Nia Jax.
Okay.
Right now, if you were to book, and let's say Usos aren't the tag champions, so that you don't have to book them into this match. If you were to do a modern day triple threat TLC tag team title match at WrestleMania, what 3 teams would you put in right now?
How would you say TLC?
With current tag teams.
How would you say T? It doesn't help that it's a T. Because we don't see these guys in ladder matches or like anything like that.
What 3 tag teams would you put into that Dudley's, Edge and Christian, and Hardy's situation? What 3
I have
teams?
to say Street Profits is one.
Street Profits. I'll put Street Profits on mine too. I like that.
Okay.
I would say Legado del Fantasma for just the fact that they're high flyers.
They'd be your Hardys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd put that as Los Lotharios.
Okay.
I'd put them in that spot, and then I'd probably put. I would probably put Viking Raiders as my 3rd team.
I would do Judgment Day as Damian Priest and Dominic.
I would still put Viking Raiders. I think Ivar can fly, like regardless if he's 350, the man can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be a great high flying matchup. But I just thought of something.
Yeah. From
a previous TLC match. I think it was actually just a ladder match. Do you remember when I almost said a Lucha? I know it's not that. Lucha Dragons.
Yeah.
When they had their ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was so good.
And he did that Selena del Sol finisher through the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. And it was against one of the Usos too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
My question would be
Kalisto. Yeah, he did it in a couple of
miss him wrestling.
Yeah.
My question would be, we've talked a lot about where the Bloodline storyline's going, but where do Sammy and Kevin take the tag titles once they get them?
My worst fear is that it leads to them feuding again. They lose the belts, one of them blames the other, and then they start feuding again. I just don't need another Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. They always put on the match. It's always amazing.
It's never on a pay-per-view though.
Yeah, well, it was at WrestleMania once. What are you talking about?
It wasn't on WrestleMania one.
Wasn't there
It was an NXT takeover.
Wasn't there a Sami Zayn versus Kevin
It
Owens at
was when
WrestleMania?
Sammy got called up. They were in the Intercontinental title ladder match.
Wasn't there a Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens one-on-one match at WrestleMania?
I
recently?
feel like I would have remembered that.
Hold
You
on,
can look that up.
I'm
but,
looking it up real quick because I do think that that's a thing.
But honestly, though, like knowing that that's probably unfortunately the spot that they're going to end up going with, which is them losing the titles and one turning on the other. Who do you see them having? Let's say they don't split the titles, but they still remain undisputed tag team champions. Who do you see them having programs with?
I hope Viking Raiders. I just think they need to be put in this. I'm big on them. They're such a good tag team. They've been champions all over the world, and they've held titles, but they haven't gotten the push they deserve on the main roster yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like them, Street Profits, I think somehow, some way they're going to split up that by the end of the year. I don't necessarily know. I think Angelo is going to turn heel.
Yeah.
It's either that or they're going to join the Hurt Business. I think that's yes.
It was WrestleMania 37.
Was it actually?
Kevin Owens defeated Sami Zayn, who had Logan Paul in his corner in a singles match. And that took place after Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeated Natalia and
That did
Tamina
happen.
for the tag.
You just had to say that, didn't you?
Well, it was right there. I was just going to bring it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that match happened. So
I don't remember that.
well, that's on you.
But just
I remember
know
that being
it's
good.
happened a lot.
I just to come back, like I don't need another Sami Zayn versus Kevin. I'm sorry, I don't. It's like Randy Orton and John Cena. Now that I'm 10 years removed from it, if they had a match this year, I would be excited. But at the time, from like 2008 to 2012, I just don't need another Randy Orton versus John Cena match. You know what I mean?
Because you guys haven't mentioned this tag team, and it seems like they only come back for AJ Styles, but what are your guys' thoughts on the club?
Well, the club, I didn't give my answer, but the club was actually in my triple threat TLC. They were
going to be in mine too, but they just haven't been on TV. So
I have the Usos being the Usos are like the Hardys, and then I have the OC being like the Dudleys, and then for Edge and Christian, I would probably do like Chad Gable and Otis. Like I think that would be a really fun triple threat TLC match just to see the shenanigans.
Just like we were kind of talking about too, like who would be most deserving of a set of titles, and I like the OC, but I just think the Viking Raiders do.
Yeah,
I think if you look at their current
understand the
booking,
argument.
If you look at their current booking, that's exactly what it would be.
I'm also gonna put along the lines of like what they've had to endure, which you could say the OC have had like a terrible run in WWE as opposed to what they've had like success-wise in New Japan. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me?
You're gonna look at. Hold on. Are you?
I'm saying OC.
I just want to make sure
had a bad run in WWE the first time around.
I just want to make sure that I understand that you're gonna tell me that the Viking Raiders went through worse things than the OC did. Is that what you're saying?
I think based off. Let me rephrase it then. I think from the trajectory that they were supposed to come into the WWE with.
Okay.
I think the Viking Raiders were destined for more than the OC was.
Okay.
And I think the Viking Raiders deserve those titles more because of that.
Okay, I'll agree with that more because if you were going to say that the Viking Raiders went through worse stuff than the OC.
No, I don't.
Because at one point, Luke Gallows was Festus.
I'm talking about as a team. I'm talking about as a team. Like singles wise, there's
that's a different story.
Yeah, I was like, dude, come on. Like,
right.
But in general, then I'm branching this question off because this is a hot topic right now. But if then the Elite make their way to WWE,
just shoot him to the moon. Just give him the titles. Wait,
No,
wait,
no.
who in the Elite?
Because Kenny Omega is already rumored, or that they're pushing very hard for.
Are you talking about, when you say the Elite, you just mean Young Bucks and Kenny, or do you also mean
Young
like...
Bucks and Kenny?
Okay. No, okay, yeah. If they're going to come in as... Are they coming in as a trio? Or is Hangman going to have his own story and the Bucks are going to have their own story?
It just depends on where we are at the time, I think.
Okay.
I think you don't even need titles, but they need to fight the Usos somehow if they're not
For sure.
split up by that point.
Yeah.
I think by now it's very well established that the Usos are like WWE homegrown tag team.
Yeah.
So they would probably best, even face or heel, doesn't matter. If you were to have WWE versus Outsiders, you would have the Usos represent the WWE in a, like, let's show these Outsiders what we're about match.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense.
Because, I mean, we talk about Jay White, we talk about Kenny, we talk about the Young Bucks. It's just, and then you got Cody, who was ex AEW. You know,
Yeah.
AJ Styles is in there.
Yeah,
Like, we're about to bring the full Bullet Club into the company.
I don't think Cody would be in it.
version
I
of
don't
it,
think
yeah.
Cody
Oh,
would
yeah.
be in it if Bullet Club did come over, though. That's the thing.
Okay, you could say that, but he's been doing the guns thing. Like, he's been literally doing Bullet Club stuff.
I still couldn't see it, though. Like, I just think they did so
I mean, he's
much.
playing a face right now.
He's
too.
playing one of the biggest baby faces I've seen in a
Oh, for sure.
while. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't see it at least immediately.
Did you hear how loud the "whoa" was on SmackDown
yeah.
this week?
Well,
It gets
especially 'cause-
louder and louder.
Especially because that was a surprise. He wasn't even like advertised or booked for SmackDown.
But I'm so excited to see it live. We haven't seen it
I'm
live yet.
No, I know. I'm excited for that, and I'm excited to see the pop for WrestleMania when he comes out.
And you're excited to see the pop for Nia Jax win the
Yeah.
Raw.
Yeah.
She's gonna come out during the women's tag team title match.
Guys,
with Tamina.
look me in my eyes. If Nia Jax
Dude,
shows
my eyes
up,
are over here.
if Nia Jax shows up when we're at Monday Night Raw, I'll mark out so hard. And not because I'm a Nia Jax fan, but because I'm a fan of our podcast. Like,
Does she have a podcast?
no, our podcast.
Our podcast.
She's a fan of our podcast now?
No,
No.
I'm a fan of our podcast. Do you
Because
hear
how
me?
much he
Can
talks
you
about
hear me?
her on our podcast,
I
he's
don't-
gonna be excited.
I don't talk about Nia
You're going to be
Jax that
excited
much on
because
the
you
podcast.
talk about her in our podcast?
Yeah,
That's
she'll
a
show
stupid reason to mark out.
up. Are you kidding me? Because then I will never shut up about it.
We're gonna
Dude.
be like, I told you.
I do.
Nia
She's been involved.
Jax.
She's been involved in the background for months. Your eyes just aren't open, man. Like, you gotta see it. You gotta
So
see the bigger
dumb.
picture like I do.
All right, well, let's move on.
All right, so all of that was branched off of the Sheamus and
Yeah, which was
and
crazy,
Drew
but
McIntyre.
Good points.
good point.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's but
Great points.
long story short, they're gonna have their triple threat match with Gunther at WrestleMania.
John Cena and Austin Theory.
John Cena and Austin Theory. So John Cena completely destroys Austin Theory in a promo. It was, you got to see it. It was really good.
I'm not playing this off of John Cena's words, but it is Austin Theory's time at this point. His
I think
time is
so.
now.
Yeah, for sure. His time is
Um,
now.
I'm just saying, looking at this now, and because we've been talking about this match being a potential for quite some time,
Which match?
Austin Theory versus John Cena.
Oh, okay.
Not the Nia Jax match.
No,
That's what I thought you were talking about. I'm
But-
sorry.
Austin Theory's.
It's so stupid.
Shut up.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Actually, just for him, don't worry. This not trying to upset anyone. But what if we had the dream tag team of Nia Jackson, who wants to play
Nikki Cross. Oh my god.
I'm done.
That's actually-
Do it.
Just leaves.
Do it.
He wants to pray with Nikki. It's so dumb. All right. Back to your point though. John Cena and Austin
Just looking at the
Theory.
grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
Austin Theory's rise has been one to remember. Like, it's been,
It has been really good. Well, yes, after the Money in the Bank loss.
yes.
Everything before that's kind of
I think if it didn't
Mhm.
happen though, because no one legitimately thought he would take it off Roman anyway,
for sure.
I think this only makes more sense because the win, if he does win, which, I mean, it's kind of, we're kind of thinking that it's a guarantee, but a win against John Cena while US champion only pushes him that much higher towards championship
Right.
level, world championship level. And him versus Cody Rhodes, like I can honestly see that being a
How
really
old
good
is
match.
Theory right now?
I don't want Austin Theory to beat Cody Rhodes, though. That'd make me really sad if it's him.
How old is Austin Theory?
Like
Is he
26?
25?
No, yeah, like
He's a little
24.
older than me, and I'm 23. So.
Oh, okay.
But well, and that's the thing. Again, a lot of this is speculation because we don't know what happens after Mania because there is a lot of speculation for that. But because it could be the fact that Cody does split the titles and then you have a completely different thing, and then there's a draft, and then people could be everywhere. But Austin Theory, I believe, will be in a world championship match or will become world champion by the end of 23.
Want him to become a world champion?
I think so.
I think he'll be in a world championship match, no problem. I don't think he'll win it by the end of
Well, that's why I said both. But
yeah.
You know what ruins people for me, like just watching wrestlers, is when they're put in the same matches so dang much. And when I had to see him feud with Bobby and Seth Rollins for so long, I'm like, I'm just kind of bored of him right now. And that sounds bad.
You can say that and everyone's going to love you for it. I said I was bored of Seth and Cody, and I got so much crap for it over the last 2 weeks.
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry.
I agree to a certain extent. Like, as a fan,
because they did all the matches at once. Like, usually when you have a trilogy, it's
one WrestleMania after another.
Like, people were mad at the Roman versus Brock one, but those were pretty spread out too.
Yeah.
But it depends on the people that you're talking about.
Well, they also had that match like 6 or 7 times, didn't they?
Yeah, it wasn't just a trilogy, but yeah, and just like the Bobby and Brock trilogy was a whole bunch of short matches that didn't actually count as matches to me.
Yeah, I would agree.
Didn't even get a trilogy out of that. The Bobby and Brock.
There's 3 matches.
There are? What was
matches?
What was the third one?
Well, but it's just that there's so many like false finishes or fake finishes.
They had the Crown Jewel one, they had the Royal Rumble one, and then this last one.
Yeah, well, and to me it's weird that we went through these 3 matches and there's not a clear-cut winner of this feud, but also the feud's done. Like, it just really bugs me.
Right.
That's one part that I'm kind of washed on.
Write Triple H an email. Say they should have had a match at WrestleMania that ends. They should have had a no DQ match. That way, whenever shenanigans happen,
I think they were turned on top of their head whenever Brock didn't want to do anything with Bray.
The thing is, it shouldn't have even come to that point. It was a logical thing that they would have a match at WrestleMania to blow this off and have the feud be done.
Yeah.
But anyways, John Cena versus Austin Theory. I think that if we get that match the way that I want to get that match, it'll be a real match. 15-20 minutes. It's not going to be 5 to 10. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I'm scared of that at this point is because John Cena's last match was that tag match where he just got a hot tag and then the match was over.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what kind of ring shape
John Cena can go more than he thinks.
I do too.
I think John Cena can go more than WWE thinks he can. I don't think it's John holding himself back. I think WWE's holding him back.
Yeah.
Man's built like an Adonis. He's just losing his hair. That's the only thing that's really like
He's
big
lost
deal.
Mass too. He is smaller, but not. I mean,
Still
he's
built.
But compare in the matches he was versing, he could lift those guys.
You what?
It's not like he was versing Big Show.
Yeah, I don't need that match anymore.
No.
But no, he could certainly.
We're gonna get Austin Theory coming out with the jorts and the spinner US belt.
You think so? You think he'll do the?
He already took a picture with it.
You think he'll do the Doctor of the? Well, yeah, but that was for like John Cena Appreciation Day or whatever.
I know.
You think he'll come out as the Doctor?
I mean, if he wants to play
not
mind
John
games.
Cena, but Theory comes out as the Doctor of Thuggin'
Could.
I want John Cena to come out as the Doctor, but I know that's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, the promo even said it. Like, John Cena's like, oh, you remind me of me.
Yeah.
Before when I was about to lose everything.
When he was about to get fired.
Yeah.
So. What happens if John Cena wins?
I don't know. That's the weird part because literally John Cena said, if I beat you, you lose everything.
Yeah.
Because at this point, why would Theory lose to him?
Yeah, from a booking standpoint, but from a wrestling standpoint, everyone should pick John Cena to win.
Well, right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, but my point is, like, how long does Cena hold the title? Who takes it off of him? When do they take it off?
Probably the next night, if I'm going to be real.
When John Cena wins just to lose
And we get a Bronson Reed title win.
I don't know about that.
No.
that'd be cool. But
It would be cool, but I wanted to ask you guys about this too, because at the end of that segment, why did we need the Cody Rhodes come out? Like,
what do you mean?
John Cena bringing him out just to raise his hand, give him a hug, and then...
Oh, that was just for the crowd. That was just...
I know. Was that a passing of the torch?
No,
I could see
A
why
lot of people classified it as that.
I could see why people would say something like that because of the position Cody's in right now. But you really pass the torch through a match, or at least a really good series of promos.
How did he pass the torch though?
We had Undertaker and Braze on the Raw show.
John Cena passed the torch to Roman Reigns when Roman Reigns beat him at whatever match that was at SummerSlam, whatever year. That's when that happened.
You think that's a play off that then, since Cody's versing Roman?
It could be.
Yeah. I
truly don't. In my opinion, I don't think it means any more than just they wanted an extra pop for the city they were in. I don't think I'm not looking more into that than what it was at the surface.
I think it's
I just felt it was odd. It's like, yeah, let's bury Theory. Here's Cody. Have John hug Cody, and he's like, "This is the guy, not you."
Yeah.
And then bye.
I mean, yeah, if you look at it from that perspective, it definitely pushes that narrative that John doesn't believe in Theory.
Yeah.
Aren't they like both? Well, I'm totally overthinking that. Actually, I was going to say, aren't both basically the exact same age? But I think John Cena's
probably got a good 5 or 10 years on Cody. Cody's only 36.
Yeah, John's in his 40s.
Yeah.
But kind of what I wanted to like look. Yeah, I'm not overthinking it. I think it was just like for the crowd more than anything. But kind of looking at passing the, so to say. I don't think Theory's at that point. Like, I just can't see Theory in a main eventer yet. It's like there's so many people throughout history where it's like they're ready to like main event. It's like Seth Rollins was at that point. Roman Reigns was at that point. Honestly, I didn't think Dean Ambrose was at the point when he won his world title.
I didn't think so either.
Like, that was the last guy where I'm like, hey, why is he the WWE champion? But then it kind of made sense because they did the brand split and Seth and Roman were both on the other show. So I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense. But Austin, I just cannot see it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Austin is in a really good position where he's at now to just champion out, kind of like Gunther.
Right.
Like, if anyone's ready to get pushed to the main event, it's Gunther.
Yep.
Not Theory. But I think the difference is they're talking about Theory as if he's going to be the next big thing for 10 years. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
that's
the long run versus the like who's ready now.
Yeah, and just like Randy Orton when he won his first world title, like they get their first one a little bit before they're ready for it, typically.
Yeah. Right.
So
it kind of, I mean, Theory does kind of remind me of young Randy Orton in a way.
Yeah.
Versus like how his career is kind of projected so far and where it's kind of going, because like Randy had the legend killer gimmick, but you know, Theory's just the cocky young guy who is gonna go against the top guy.
I'm just glad he dropped the cell phone thing. I thought that was really dumb.
Am I like mean for thinking like he can't be in the like this main event picture yet? I just like I watch his matches.
No, he's not.
I don't even think yet. I just can't see
the point
him
of this match though. I think,
this is probably to test his main event caliber.
Yeah. But like Randy Orton, and this is when I first started watching wrestling, so like at the time, but like going back and reviewing these matches, I'm like, Randy was like having great matches against other people, and like Austin Theory, they're like okay. I feel like other people are carrying him through the match.
The times though.
Yeah, you got to look at who they were in the ring with, because even the
having great matches against like Mick Foley and his like.
Well, all I was gonna say, this is gonna be very controversial. The Jobbers of 2004 is the mid card of this year. Like that's where that caliber is. The people that Randy Orton was getting put over are like, they're still really good compared to like, who did Theory beat this week? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think honestly, it's only a good thing for Theory. I really don't see John winning. I don't see where they would go with him if John does beat him. But if he does win, I think it only starts something even bigger for him, and hopefully it just keeps the trajectory going higher. Like I said, everything after Mania at this point is such a like blur that we don't know where anything's going after it. We're still waiting on an impending sale of the company. We're still waiting on, just in general, what's going to happen with the titles, if they're going to get split. So there's just too many questions to have answers for yet.
I'm still not looking forward to. I know we kind of got into that and looked at who could buy the company, so on. But
See how many people dropped out?
See how many dropped out.
There's only about 3
Who are they?
qualifying left, and one of them Saudi.
But do you know who the other 2 are?
I think we still got.
Is one of them Disney?
It's Disney.
I think one of them's Amazon. NBC dropped out.
Yeah.
Disney's out.
No, he said NBC.
NBC's dropped out. It was Amazon and one other company. I can't remember.
I hope it's Disney.
I do too.
But it's funny that NBC dropped out because they own Peacock and they didn't even want it.
Yeah, that's silly.
That is crazy, actually. Looking at it like that,
That
but
just means they're probably not going to renew rights.
yeah, probably.
Well, let's switch gears. Let's talk about Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, everything going on with the bloodline. Really good promo last night on SmackDown. What were you guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, well, I want to kind of touch on the Monday situation because that was it was. I like the point where they do the thing like hooray, raise their hand,
right,
hug, all that fun stuff, and it's a little too long.
You thought it was too long?
I thought not in a bad way, but it's too long where it's okay, I thought he would have turned on him by now.
Yeah.
And but in real time it seems longer too. And then you're just waiting and waiting until nothing's happened yet.
The more I rewatch it though, the more you can see when he was gonna do it, it was blatant.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and that was the thing too. Whenever I remember watching, and I had Brandy next to me, and we were watching, and I just kept going, "Where is it?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Where's what?" And I was like, "You'll see. Just where is it?" And I just kept watching, and kind of to your point, I was like, is it not going to happen tonight? Yeah. And then he did it finally, and I was like,
he
wow.
started taking the steps backwards behind Sammy. And
yeah, I think it was probably It was probably Sammy's fault. He probably didn't turn towards him fast enough, because that's always
more build up though. I was the
anticipation was crazy. Yeah,
the pop when he hugged him to the reverse pop whenever he got kicked was crazy, but
just the.
It was it was everything we thought. It's just this is a little later than we thought it was going to happen because we still haven't set up the tag team title match, even after Friday.
That's my point. When do we get this? When do we get this done?
No, I think it could be this week. I mean,
I guess
something's got to happen. Especially after last night too.
I mean, Cody's going to have to explain why he's coming out to help Sammy. Sammy's going to have to be going after Kevin and just being like, why didn't you come help me?
Well, there was a backstage segment where Cody and Kevin Owens were having a pretty heated conversation.
Yeah, I saw that.
In the background. It wasn't on the camera. It was on camera, but it wasn't the foreground.
What they've been doing is just planning in the back.
So we'll see. I mean, right now it looks like it's going to be Cody pulling double duty and Cody and Sammy will take the belts off the Usos. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for Kevin Owens to get involved with this somehow, but we're 3 weeks away, 2 weeks away at this point. We don't have.
Are we going to have a
time
Sammy
left.
beatdown that involves nobody coming to help him, and it's literally he's beaten to a pulp again?
Maybe.
Just like at Royal Rumble.
They could do. Maybe they'll do. They could do Sammy's I challenge you guys to a tag team title match. I'll find a partner, and he just can't find one all the way up until WrestleMania, and then right before the bell rings, Kevin Owens' music hits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He goes out to fight them alone.
Yeah, Sami Zayn is I'll take these belts by myself. I don't care. And then finally, right before the bell rings, Kevin Owens comes out.
The ref's about to hit it, and all of a sudden...
something like that. Because that would make a good pop. That would be a really cool situation.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that, they do... If that's what they're going to do, they need to do that right. This week on Monday or Friday, Sammy's I'm taking those belts from you. Let me find a partner. And he goes to different... He starts with Kevin, and it's very short. Hey, you're probably going to say no, but I got a tag team title match against the Usos. Do you want to do this? And then Kevin says no. And then Sammy talks to 3 or 4 other people over the next couple weeks, and everyone says no. And Sammy's fine, I'll do it by myself. And then Kevin comes out. They have to do that correctly.
I feel like it's going to be we find out either this week or next. that Kevin's starting to
I
like.
hope it's when we're at Raw.
That'd be cool.
I don't know if
That'd
it'd
be
be
really
at
good.
Raw though.
I don't know. Let's not get spoiled. We were there for the feeling Usi.
Yeah.
That's the term Usi was
Originated in St. Louis.
Yeah, we were there. So
Yeah.
let's not get too spoiled, but it'd be cool if that did happen while we were there.
I'm feeling kind of oozy after all of this stuff happening. The ones
you?
are back together. I'm feeling oozy, but my little man, Sami Zayn, just needs to eventually he'll be a world champion. I know he'll be a world champion.
What if instead of Kevin Owens?
Okay, hold on.
What
Can I do it for you?
Hold on, let me do this.
It's not the same.
What if same exact scenario, Sami Zayn, but when the ref goes to start the bell, I'm not like this. Nia Jax
or who wants to play with
It's not how
Nick?
the intro goes.
No,
the song.
that's how it should.
No, it's
You just hear it on the mic. Just like, who wants
Who
to
wants
play
to
with
play
Nick?
with Nikki?
Does Sammy want to play with Nikki?
No, but Nia Jax could be Sami Zayn's tag partners, and it would make sense because they did invite her into the bloodline, even though she's like, there's more story to this than you guys are going to give me credit for here. You're so mad that made sense.
Wouldn't Tamina be in the bloodline though?
Tamina would be in there too. No, because she's related to Snuka, not them. But Nia Jax is related to them.
I thought she was related to them. Technically, she's related to The Rock.
Oh, I thought I didn't realize they were. Oh, well then they're all related.
Yeah.
You should see the video of the Usos trying to explain the family tree.
Dude, it's not wrestling related, but I found out something really weird about my family tree and Brandy's family tree. My just single great grandparents is older than Brandy's great 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 grandparents.
Your grandparents are older than her great great grandparents.
No, go up a level. My great grandparents
are
older than her great great great. So my family tree's generations are 2 up because of how old my family is. Again, it's not wrestling related. I'll tell you guys later.
Your family just waits as long as they can.
My grandparents were,
oh my God, this wrestling podcast.
Were born in like 18 something. So
you know who else was born in 18 something?
Vince McMahon.
Yeah, Vincent J. McMahon, who made the WWF.
Well, he made the WWF.
Yeah, and his father made the WWF.
Oh, okay. Is that what's going to be on your grandpa's headstone?
No, not this week.
Yeah, so Jay, we'll bring it back. So Jay Uso.
What I noticed during that promo though is that, of course, his promo was that he had to do it.
Yeah.
And you could tell that Jimmy didn't like what he was saying most of the time.
Yeah, because Jay even came out. I mean, one of the lines he said during the promo was literally, "I didn't want to do it."
Yeah.
Like, he still showed the love for Sammy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even if it's like rooted in the fact that he still has to fight
the whole thing,
him.
he was like, I had to.
Yeah.
We're brothers. It's blood. I had to.
Yeah, I have to do that so that Roman leaves Jimmy alone. That's what that was. Now, I thought last night was originally advertised as Roman and Jay coming face to face, but Roman was nowhere near SmackDown. Was I wrong about that?
I don't think so.
Unless it was until the Raw moments happened.
Maybe. I'm not sure. But I think probably this upcoming week on SmackDown, we'll get the whole bloodline in the ring together.
Probably.
Just to see how it goes.
Unless that's how it all culminates, is that Roman and the bloodline are in the ring. Sammy comes out, Cody comes out, and then that's where we get Kevin coming out, and that's where that all starts.
You got something good?
No, I just thought you had something good. I mean, that could be the case. But we'll see. At this point, I'm ready to see what the bloodline is gonna look like and be post WrestleMania.
I feel like it should be Mania now, and it's not like even that close. Like just all the build up that's been happening forever.
I mean, we're 2 weeks away.
Yeah,
they'll need more matches, right?
We kind of do need more matches, and actually, something that we're gonna
There's
do.
So many confirmed, not confirmed matches.
Well, so one of the things that we're gonna do next week that I'm telling you guys about for the first time right now next week.
Are you our producer now, dude?
Yeah.
Oh.
Next week, we're going to sit down with all of the confirmed and maybe even the rumored matches, and we're going to go over what we think is going to happen in night 1 and what we think is going to happen in night 2. Like, we're going to book what we think is WrestleMania is going to look like this year.
You're going to book why Nia Jax would make every other match better.
I don't have to book that. Everyone at home knows why Nia Jax would make every match look better.
And scene.
So,
comment your favorite Nia Jax match in the chat.
Every match at WrestleMania should just include Nia Jax shoot punching everyone in the nose and breaking their nose and just casting him into the stratosphere of the main event.
Her screaming "my hole" somewhere in the match.
My hole. All right. Well, we talked about the Intercontinental Triple Threat. We talked about Jey Uso. We also talked about Austin Theory versus Cena. I don't think there's really too much else that we need to talk about for everything that happened this week.
Those were the biggest things that played out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let us know in the comments if there's anything that we missed. Feel free to tune in with us next week when we fantasy book how WrestleMania is going to go for night 1 and 2. Eddie, the socials, if you will, please.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, and Anchor.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did it.
Are we on Friendster or MySpace yet?
And on Pinterest.
Are
we make
on
cute
Tumblr?
crafts.
Are we on Tumblr or
That's
any of
not a
those?
website.
Tumblr's not a website?
Not anymore.
Yeah,
What is
Tumblr's not.
Tumblr now?
Just dead, I guess.
Oh, okay. Have we started a GoFundMe yet?
No, dude.
We can.
All right, cool. We'll do that.
Cash app in the description.
Yeah, right.
I'll SoundCloud in the description as well.
Eddie's gonna drop some sick beats.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening to all of our ridiculousness. Is there anything else anyone has anything to say before we jump out of here?
I'm excited for Mania. I want more build-up, and I want more matches in week. I want to see how the cards play out, and I need more to talk about next week, so those matches need to get announced.
Yeah.
And if you're in St. Louis for Raw on March 20th and you see us, don't be afraid to say hi.
Yeah, we'll be hanging out.
We accept kisses, too.
Don't do that.
You do.
We don't accept kisses. We do accept, I don't know, high fives.
Yeah.
Butt slaps?
No.
Nope. None of that.
We sure don't. We sure don't.
Scene.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Okay, now that they're gone, let me tell you about night 1 and night 2 and how much Nia Jax is going to spend shoot punching everyone in the nose and just absolutely blasting him into the stratosphere of the main event. Just kidding. I'll stop. Bye, guys.